Hey everybody. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm starving. I just got my taste buds back really. So tonight I had a taste for stuffed bell peppers, but I didn't want to make the traditional stuffed bell peppers with the ground beef. So I'm substituting. So I went to the store because I didn't want meat, and I found this, which is Morningstar Farms. It's Grillers Crumbles. So it's like vegetarian meat, vegetarian ground beef. So I'll be using that instead. So this is my first time like actually using that. So making stuffed bell peppers. So I have yellow squash, zucchini. I have my peppers. I'll be cutting the tops off of these in a few. I have my mushrooms. I have my cheese. And I have my green stem onions, which I only need like one of these onions because I'm only using the top part of the onion. And I haven't washed them off yet, so I have to do that next. And I'm not making that many peppers because it's just for me. I know my son will want the ones that's not vegan, but with actual meat. So I'll just go back and make some more of those. But I just follow the same steps that I'm using to make this video with on making stuffed bell peppers. So I'll be back. I have to cut everything up and get it all together, and then I'll be back online. Okay, so now I am cutting. I just cut up the green stem onions, or scallions, whatever they call them. Not sure. I'm not a professional cook. Even though I would like to be, but I'm not. Okay, so I cut up one of the green peppers. Here's the top, and I'm just gonna put that off to the side. But I still got one more that I gotta cut off. And the trick to getting this part out is along the side there are some little veins in there, so you want to just like cut along the side of it on each side, and then you should be able to just pull it out, like wiggle it a little bit and pull it out, because you don't want the seeds. Okay, so now I'm just gonna set this part off to the side as well. I'm gonna make 2 peppers for myself, so I have one for tonight and one for tomorrow. Okay, that's off to the side. Next, I gotta cut up my yellow squash and my zucchini, but I'm making them in small cubes. Not gonna make them big, and I'm gonna cut them kind of thin so they'll be easy to cook. And I'm gonna use olive oil. And I'm only gonna cook maybe about half of this yellow squash and the zucchini mixed with it. Okay, put that off to the side, and start with the zucchini. And after you have all this done, what you want to do is you want to put your skillet on medium high. And with a little olive oil in the skillet. And then you're going to throw in your onions, your yellow squash, your mushrooms. If you're not allergic to mushrooms, then you can use mushrooms. But if you're allergic to them, I suggest you don't use mushrooms. And I'm only going to use half of the zucchini also. So I'll put that off to the side also. So like I said before, these are going to be in halves. only using enough to make for 2 peppers. Make enough stuffing for 2 peppers. See, right now I'm trying to become either a vegetarian or a vegan. I found out that there is a difference between the two. Vegetarian still eats like fish, seafood, and then in their diet, or they might incorporate like a turkey or something like that. Whereas a vegan don't. They just use raw fruits and vegetables. So I've tried to do this before and I did a pretty good job at it. But then I fell back into my old habits. So this time I'm just going, because that time I went into it full blown. Wanted to do something different with my diet because I got tired of eating meat. And I'm at that point again now that I'm tired of eating meat. Meat is too expensive. So I would like to just have meat because I still have children at home that still needs that protein. But, I mean, hey, I cook all their meals. So, because I'm transitioning, I do eat vegetables. But I didn't want to leave my cheese alone. And I'm an avid cheese lover. So I got regular cheese. Okay. So like I said, I'm transitioning into this. All right. I have my squash and I have my zucchini all cut up. And next I'm going to be throwing this into the skillet and I'm going to saute this until it's nice and golden, and add my sauce and my meat, and then I'll be ready to stuff the peppers and put them in the oven. So I'll hit you up when I get started over there. Okay, I am back. Finished cutting up everything. Now I am getting my skillet a little hot. It's a cast iron skillet. I like cooking with cast iron. It holds heat better. But with olive oil, it gets hotter than the oil. You can't let the oil get too hot or it will burn. Kind of like vegetable oil, but vegetable oil gets hot a lot faster. Olive oil takes a little while. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit of olive oil, maybe about, I'm just doing this by freehand, but you probably just need to pour maybe about 2 tablespoons of oil in here. I'm just guesstimating about 2 tablespoons. And you let that get hot a little bit. And as soon as my oil is hot, then I can throw in my garlic first, which I had some garlic cured in olive oil for about 6 months. It's pretty aged, so it's now what you call black garlic. So I'll cut a little bit of that up, and I'll show you what it looks like. And this is black garlic. It's aged garlic. You can buy it actually like this, but you have to go to a health food store in order to buy it like that. Okay, so my oil is kind of hot. So now I can dump that in there. So. And I want to throw some of my mushrooms in there. Not a lot, just a little bit. Then a little bit of my onions. You want to save some onions because you may want to top off some of the green stem onions. You want to top it off. And I poured in all of my zucchini. I'm going to turn my heat out to medium because I kind of want it to slow cook a little bit. And not cook too fast. Oh, if only you can smell this. It's just the aroma. It smells delicious. I should get a closer look at it. Oop. There we go. Okay, I just poured in my sauce. So, with the zucchini and squash, you don't want to cook it too long because it will get soft and mushy and it won't taste right. The flavor will be gone from it. So I'm just going to let this sit here for a minute and turn the heat off. And let it cook for about 3 minutes. This whole meal should take no more than about 30 to 45 minutes to prepare and cook. The longest part of cooking it is when you put it in the oven to bake. And next I'll be stuffing the peppers. Okay, now this time around I'll be stuffing my peppers. And because I don't have a square pan, I had a square pan, but I can't find it. So I'm going to be using a round cake pan. Talk about improvising. And what I would do is line the bottom of my pan with a sheet of aluminum foil. And then I'll take my peppers, the tops, I'll leave them off, set the insides of it in there, like so. And if you love cheese, like I love cheese, then you'll put your cheese in. One thing I forgot to add was my seasoning. Lord help me. You always add a little bit of black pepper into your sauce. Not a lot. A little black pepper, a little bit of sea salt. Sea salt is the best salt to use. Or the Himalayan pink salt. And you want to use some Italian seasoning, but the Italian seasoning, you can put a little bit inside your food. but it's best if you just put it on top of the cheese once you put the cheese in. And then you want to use a little bit of thyme flakes if you have thyme flakes. It's not really required, but it gives a more authentic Italian taste. Okay. And then you just mix it all in. Okay, now I'm going to take my pepper and I'm going to start stuffing it. And I'm going to put a little bit of cheese in it because I like cheese. I really love cheese. I always have been a cheese eater, so. And it's going to melt really nice inside of there. So you just want to put a little bit of cheese in there because you want to get the rest of it with your veggies. So, stuffing the peppers. And then I'm going to top it off with some more cheese. So you want to pack it in there. Okay. Then you want to put the cheese on top. Set this pepper in here, and I'm just going to plop some cheese right down on top of it. Just like so. Okay. Then I'll set the top on it. Then I'll do my next pepper. I like using color peppers. Color peppers just look so much prettier. If you have any left over, stuffing, you can always put it in the freezer, put it in a container and freeze it for another time. And then when you take it out, you just let it thaw out at room temperature and do the same thing again. Just stuff the peppers with it. You don't have to cook it or anything because it's already cooked. Okay, this pepper is almost filled. A little bit more sauce. Last of these little veggies. And to remind you that if you are I strongly advise you that if you are allergic to mushrooms, please do not use mushrooms like I did. I have no problem with mushrooms. I have a child that's allergic to mushrooms. So some stuff I cannot make for him that requires mushrooms. Like lasagna, for instance. He loves lasagna. Okay, so now I have my cheese on here. And I'm going to put my top on. Fit it down firmly. Cheese on top freezer. It's going to be a while before I use this cheese again. Okay. Now I'm done with that. So this is what my peppers look like, and I'll put these in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour, and have to drizzle a little oil on top of them to make sure that they cook properly. Because they're already cooked, the only thing that has to cook is the outside of the vegetable. Now you can eat you can eat everything. That's the best thing about this pepper is that you can eat everything, all of it. And it tastes so wonderful. Especially when you use the sweet, the colorful peppers. Okay. And I just drizzle the oil on it. I'm kind of heavy on oil. Now, I will put these in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour. And that's what will happen. They will fall over because of the oil in the pan. So you want to be careful. And then I will come back in a little bit and show you the results. Okay, I'm back. Now, it's time for me to take the peppers out. So let's see what the end result is. Delicioso. Okay, I gotta get a plate. I'm only gonna eat one of these right now. I'm saving one for lunch tomorrow. So they both look so good. I don't know which one I want. Do I want the green one first, or do I want the yellow pepper first? I don't know. I don't want that knife. No, I don't want that knife. Yeah, I want that knife. Okay. So now I'm going to take it off. Set this in front. Oh yeah. This is really good. It just looks so good. So I have a green one for later. Ha! That's for tomorrow. So I won't have to do this tomorrow. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of onion. The green stem onions, like I said before. I'm going to take the top of this off. Just put a few pieces, throw a few pieces of the raw onion on top for garnishment. My mom used to make this all the time. Lord rest her soul. And I will add some Italian seasoning to it. And I will turn it around so you can see the end result. So I'll take my case off. And voila. There is your stuffed vegetarian pepper. Well, like I said, I still love my cheese. Let me see how it... Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Get a proper fork. Just washed dishes a little while ago, so I'll take one of those forks. Oh, yeah. Oh, and it just oozes out. Oh, you gotta see this. You have got to see this. Look at that. Oh my God, that just looks so delicious. Oh my God. This is so good. So, I'm going to run over the instructions one more time. If you use ground beef and you're only making 2 peppers. If you're making more than 2 peppers, use 1 pound of ground beef. If you're using 4 peppers, use 1 pound of ground beef. If you're making only 2 peppers, use a half of a pound of ground beef. Or, like I said, you can use the Morningstar Farms Crumbles Grillers. And this is like the vegan version of ground beef. You can use that also. And you just need whether sweet or green bell pepper, your seasonings like salt, black pepper, thyme, and nothing against like iodized salt, but it's not a healthy salt. Sorry, I'm eating on camera. Look. The cheese, oh my God. But this is really, really good. Green peppers, zucchini, yellow squash, tomato sauce. And if you like cheese, or you can use the vegan cheese, either one. You cut up the zucchini. If you're only making, like I said, if you're making 2, then you use half a zucchini and half a yellow squash. If you're making 4, use all of the zucchini and all of the yellow squash and cut it up into cubes. Set that off to the side. Then your green stem onions, cut up 1 whole green stem onion. And you're going to use a little bit in your sauce. You're going to use a little bit for garnishment. So don't use all of it. After you finish cutting up everything and stuff, if you got a little garlic, you can use minced garlic or you can use whole clove garlic. Doesn't matter. You can actually take and play with this recipe if you like. And you cook it. This preparation should take no more than about 30 minutes to an hour. 30 minutes to 45 minutes for preparation. And it should take no more than 30 to 45 minutes in order for the pepper to cook at 350 degrees. If you want the whole recipe, I'll have it written down and I can either email it to you or I can share it with you in your inbox. Thanks for watching. Bye.